Welcome, fight fans, to episode 29 of the Hooks In MMA podcast. We took a week's break. We're ready to get right back at it. We're going to be first introducing two guests, both Brazilian MMA fighters, fighting this Saturday night on the UFC Fight Night. First up, we've got Carlos Diego Ferreira. He's 7-2. He's a lightweight. He's on the main card this weekend, fighting Danilo Dariush. Next up, we've got Danilo Marques. He's 10-2, light heavyweight, also out of Brazil, fighting Mike Rodriguez on the prelims. So make sure to listen into their interview later on and cheer them on Saturday night. We also have a Hooks In alum fighting Justin Guitar Hero James. He's also on the prelims, fighting Devontae Smith. So make sure to cheer on our metalhead. Of course, we've got easy lines to share with you. Couple bets to get ahead of that book for the Overeem Volkov card Saturday night here. It's a free one, so get those parlays locked and loaded. But before we head into there, we've got a couple small stories to share, and we'll be tossing the mic over here to Mr. Matt McElhoff.
Yeah, just the last year, obviously, it's been, pretty tough with the pandemic. There's a lot of serious stuff going on, in America that changed presidents and, with the pandemic, with lockdowns, with all this stuff, sometimes you just need a little laugh. So I heard a little story. Not sure if you guys heard this, but over in the UK, apparently there's this 83-person orgy. And in this orgy, there was 41 couples. So if you times that by 2, that's 82. So who's this other random guy? Well, I don't know. Is this guy sitting back and watching everything, or is he get a piece of the other 41 couples? I don't really know. Find that pretty funny. The funniest part of the story, though, they were talking about the cops showing up, and the cops show up and they don't do anything about the amount of people in the house, which you think that would be number one with the lockdown and how many people, you should be in a house congregating, let alone, being inside of each other. The funny part, they ticketed them because they exceeded the curfew rule. So it doesn't matter about 83 people in a house going in and out. They ticketed them because they passed the curfew. Thought that was pretty funny. I don't know about you guys, but
Oh, I think it's hilarious. It just shows just how backwards some of these laws are, or what's going on. Of course, it's the Frenchmen, right, that are just orgy, go right ahead, that's fine. But if you're breaking curfew, keep it to daylight hours at least, guys. Come on. That's basically what they're telling them. If you're gonna do it, just keep it to daylight hours. That's all we're asking. So I think, it's hilarious. It's so funny.
Don't exceed 10. Come on.
I just think the cops were more thrown off by walking up to a situation like that. They didn't know what to do. They panicked and just started writing tickets. Curfew, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I would have argued it was an essential service, but that's just me.
Imagine you're that cop that's walking into that, though. You're just like, what the fuck am I? Okay, I guess I gotta do this. So
and if you're on duty by yourself, I would almost want you to, tag in and make it an even number, but.
So maybe that was 83, was the single cop.
Yeah. Oh, it's an inside man. There was actually the first guy that was actually the first cop to show up, and he didn't report it. He just jumped in.
Yeah.
The curfew ticket.
Well, hey, guys.
That's a conspiracy theory right there.
I'll give you $100 ticket for breaking curfew, but can I join?
Can we use this little bobby stick I've got here?
On that note.
So on that note, a funny story for all our fight fans out there. You might have seen, you might not have. Dustin Poirier was on today's episode of Hot Ones on First We Feast on YouTube. So make sure to check it out. I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say a funny little story near the end of the episode. Sean Evans asked him, what was the funniest walkout you've ever seen in an MMA match? And he said, there's this fight in New Jersey where the fighter played the Price is Right song. And then out of nowhere, he just stands up out of the crowd with a name badge on his shirt. And it's come on down. And he just goes to the aisle and makes his way to the ring. So I have no idea who this fighter is. I've tried Googling it, can't find anything. So If any of our fans know what the reference is, throw us a comment, send us a DM, because I definitely want to reach out to this guy and get him on the podcast. That's for damn sure. On the side note as well, Dustin's got his hot sauce out. It's the Louisiana style. That's what it's called. The Canadian connection there is it's made by a Tampa Bay hot sauce manufacturer called Heartbeat Hot Sauce. And so I got it for my brother for Christmas. He said it's one of the best hot sauces he's ever had. So head over to www.heatonist.com and pick up your bottle today.
Yeah, and if I can throw in a Tampa Bay comment there, I mean, I haven't been more excited for a game in my entire life. I don't think, being almost 34 years of age, I did see one Super Bowl, but I mean, Brady versus Mahomes this Sunday. Let's get it. It's Bucks first time in your own stadium hosting a Super Bowl and being in it, being part of the dance. So let's get her done.
Go Chiefs.
How many mortgage payments do you have on Bucks money line?
1.5.
That's pretty solid. 1.5 units.
1.5 units.
Speaking of units.
Speaking of, and actually,
well, yeah, throw something else in there, Con.
well,
sorry.
talking about big events, yes, Fight Night Saturday, yes, Super Bowl Sunday, but let's not forget Friday night, bare knuckle fighting. We've got Paige Van Zandt. We've got who I call the zombie Lieben, who just fucking swings, and who's our other boy, Dat Nguyen, also on that card. I've never actually really tuned into one of these, but seeing those names, I'm definitely going to throw it on the tube. So Zeebs, not sure if you got any best bets there, but would love to get ahead of that book, seeing Paige Van Zandt go down in a bloody mess.
Yeah, well, actually, you know what? I tried looking on Bet365.
Not there yet.
I couldn't find it.
It'll be tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow.
True. So I don't know. That's hard for me to handicap there that ball with Paige Van Zandt. I mean, did you guys see the stare down today where she pushed her or whatever, pushed the other girl?
Oh.
What, Paige Van Zandt? You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see it either.
Oh, true. Yeah, and their stare down, she actually touched her and like fucking pushed her away, and they got in each other's faces and shit. It was actually like pretty aggressive. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Take a look at it.
It's like one girl's pushing the girl she's fighting that is pushing her because she's jealous of her good looks, and then Paige is pushing her back because she's probably not as good of a fighter as the other girl. So
she did look sharp in her training videos than she used to.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just focus on hands now.
So, without further ado, Bet365 is open on our fans' phones. Z-Balls, what are these parlays looking like here?
Yeah, well, to kind of start us off here, I'm just going to, before I get too deep into it, I guess I just want to quickly go after the recap from our last time and kind of the current standings we're at. Last time, a little bit of a tough outing, a lot of underdogs pulling some upsets there in the co-main event and the main, of course, as well. Although we did tell you that the Hooker fight was not going to go to the distance at minus 120. So we had 3 wins, 4 losses that weekend. Over the long run, of course, which matters the most, since June 2020, we're at 61% right now in terms of win rate. So we're feeling fat and sassy going into this weekend. We've had some nights where we've gone 6-0, 8-0 last year or so. So, let's get 2021 back on track with this week's picks. Up first in terms of the main event, exciting heavyweight fight between Volkov and Alistair Overeem. Volkov currently minus 175 and Overeem's a plus 150 underdog. Who knows what that line's going to be by the time you're listening to this video or the fight kind of begins, because it's been all over the week. I've seen Volkov at minus 215 at some places, and it's been as low as minus 160 as well. But, so this is a tough fight for me to call as well in terms of the winner. But the odds, make it a little bit easier for me. I'm going to have my money on Alistair on Saturday, and here's kind of why. So this should be more of a pick'em fight, in my opinion, at minus 125 and plus 100, let's say, towards Volkov, because of the youth, of course, and he's been definitely improving over his last couple of fights, and I get that. But Overeem is a seasoned veteran who's looking just as good as he always did. And, he has one of the highest fight IQs, I think, in the heavyweight division, certainly, possibly UFC as a whole. He's always transformed his game and been molding it to the game of these kind of up and comer young guys as well, right? Like after he got finished by Curtis Blades pretty badly, what did he do? He packed up and moved to Colorado and started training with Curtis and his team there. So to kind of learn what he did wrong, right? So he's doing stuff like that throughout his entire career. Has kept his skill set fresh and unpredictable for his opponents. The Overeem we saw like in Pride compared to when he first joined UFC, or now, are three completely different fighters, I think. Whereas Volkov, he's been kind of the same thing throughout his entire career. He's an excellent kickboxer. Just his technique has really improved. It's got a lot sharper over the last few years, right? He keeps guys on his jab, at the end of his jab very well. He's always been a taller fighter pretty much, except Stephen Struve, of course. So he uses that advantage well. His front body kicks are amazing, so well timed and accurate. That's how he actually ended his last fight against Will Harris. So he certainly has the skills there, right? But nothing Overeem hasn't seen before. I think, Overeem's going to come in there with a solid game plan to look to initiate some offensive grappling and stay in the clinch in the center of the octagon and take some double leg takedowns, perhaps. Volkov proved his defensive grappling to be very sound against Blades. So up against the fence, with like a tall guy like that, it's going to be very tough for Overeem. So he's going to look to stay in the center of the octagon. On the other end, Volkov doesn't really know what he's getting with Overeem. Will he stay on the outside and kickbox with me? Is he going to go for a takedown? Will he try and clinch and dirty box? So that's where I think Overeem kind of has the advantage as well. It's going to be a little bit more unpredictable. Overeem is highly motivated. He said in interviews he knows this is a young man's game, and this is his last title run. So I think he wants this badly. He's focused on this win. It may even be a 5-round boring fight where he clinches and pushes Volkov up against the fence and just sits in his guard and shit. So clearly I like the over in this fight as well, over 2.5, which again is halfway through the third round, minus 120. They're both very technical strikers who are very sound defensively. I think they will respect each other's skill sets and not go too hard after each other in the first or second round. And then neither one really brawls per se, right? 5-round fighters as well. They're both very experienced. I will have come in with smart game plans and we'll kind of play the long game, I do believe. So to recap, Overeem, money line, plus 150, excellent value. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 120 are my official plays here. I also like Overeem decision plus 650 as a value play. Put a half unit on there if you like Overeem. A quarter unit on Overeem, 4th round finish plus 2,000. I like as well. But this is a tough fight to call. I believe Zone is kind of leaning on Volkov here. So let's kind of give the viewers the other side of the coin. Zone, what are you thinking?
Yeah, and I hate to disagree with you, but when this fight got announced 4 or 5 months ago, I just loved. I can't, argue 4 of his last 5 fights, Overeem's looked fantastic, and the one that he did lose, he was dominating and ended up getting caught. It is a young man's game, though, and with Volkov and his length, it's not like Overeem's going to overpower him and take him down and punish him down there. I really don't think so. Especially with Volkov's success in the later rounds, even though it was a 3-round fight against Blades. I liked his fight and I liked his takedown defense. I can't see him being taken down, and Overeem's known for kickboxing and all that stuff too. I really like the length of Volkov. I kind of think it's his time. It is a new wave. It's going to be a fantastic fight. I don't love where the line is at. I definitely think that is skewed. I agree with you. It should be, minus 110 each, or maybe a slight favorite for Volkov. That makes a ton of sense. Again, I don't want to disagree with you. It's just been a gut feeling for a while now that this fight's actually happening. Just really excited to see this fight. If Volkov wins this, there's a lot of big things that'll follow here next, but same with Overeem. Overeem could have a number 1 contender fight if he wins this too. So a lot on the line. The best part about this is, the next 3 weeks are all headlined by heavyweights. So some clarity is going to come here in the next few weeks of who's going to get some big fights and potentially, number 1 fight. Well, I can't even say that, because if Jones jumps in against Ngannou and Miocic, then there'll be a number 1 fight. It'll probably be Blades or Rosenstrike or Gone or maybe even a Volkov or an Overeem. So there's a lot on the line in the next few weeks, and I can't wait for that. But I'm not going to give any suggestions for anyone. I like your picks. I definitely like the over 2.5 for sure. But I just lean towards Volkov with his length, and I think he's getting better and better.
Yeah, I just hope he's learned to, block or evade those front kicks in some way. Volkov's really good with those front kicks, and Travis Brown ate Alistair alive with those front kicks. So I'm sure he's worked on it since then. But
yeah, I mean, he ended his last fight pretty much due to that kick. So that was the starting sequence of how he finished Wilder. So he definitely knows about it. But, is he going to be able to defend it or not is the question, right? And Volkov, I'm sure has ways to set it up or put it in a trap. But in terms of a consensus pick here, I think the over 2.5 is probably actually my strongest play this week. This week it's a lot of tough fights, a lot of good fights. So it's hard to choose ones for sure, but I think that over 2.5 is the thing that I'm kind of leaning on the most.
I love
and
that.
As I said, yeah, exactly, because I don't think they're going to start. I mean, obviously it's fighting, who knows, fuck, they could, Volkov could crack him with an uppercut like at the end of the first round, beginning of the second or something, I don't know, but I don't see it happening, right? That's not even a Volkov's thing, right? He's not a power puncher anyways. I mean, he has seemed to have filled out his frame a little bit as he's gotten older. But he's still a volume guy, so I think he's going to that's just going to be his game plan. If it does go to later rounds, though, again, Volkov, maybe it kind of leans more to Volkov, right? If Overeem can't finish it, but
although
but anyways,
Overeem did, he went into deep waters with Sakai his last fight and was able to get the finish later on too. So, even at his older age, he could take it there and do well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's a really interesting fight. So.
You guys
sorry, go ahead, Jeff. No. I was just going to say, I really like it as well. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that we saw that Volkov, since he's beefed up and added a lot to that frame, that Blades fight was pathetic. So I don't like his chances the longer that fight goes, personally. But dealing with Blades is a little different than Overeem, though, that kind of pressure. But
yeah, in terms of the grappling. But yeah, no, I'll jump into the next one here for interest of time. But next up, studded co-main event as well, bantamweight division. Corey Sandhagen taking on Frankie Edgar. Sandhagen is a whopping -400 favorite, with Frankie coming in as a +300. I'm taking Sandhagen in this one to win as well. He's very likely to win, but he shouldn't be this high as a favorite, in my opinion, as well. I don't really see the value on him in terms of the money line here. Frankie is finally in his correct weight class, though. He's down to this bantamweight. The unfortunate thing, though, he's still undersized against Sandhagen here in this situation. He's built more like a little bit of a tank for this division, but Sandhagen has this very good strength as well. Quite slippery in the grappling and on the ground. I don't think Edgar's going to be able to muscle him there for long. But of course, that is Frankie's best, course of action, or best bet to win this fight is his wrestling pedigree. A guy that's against a guy that's very dangerous and striking, right? And has he's 5 inches taller than you, has 2-inch reach advantage as well. So Frankie will look for those takedowns, and he may get some, right? I won't, it's definitely possible, but I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to hold Corey down for long. Sandhagen is a new school MMA fighter, right? He flows extremely well from striking to wrestling to jiu-jitsu. Quite flawlessly, right? Frankie, you can kind of tell he's stitched things together, MMA disciplines over time. Now, he's done it quite well. And to his credit, he's evolved with the game as time's gone on, but I don't think it's going to be enough to beat Sandhagen this weekend. Frankie's extremely tough, though, and no longer outsized in this division. So I'm not expecting a spectacular KO by Corey like he did against Moraes necessarily. Sandhagen by decision at +120. It was +20 yesterday. It's already dropped to a -110 today. So get in while it's still viable. That moves very fast and very quickly. I was surprised by that. I mean, at this point, I'm almost starting to look at the finish now in terms of value, right? Like, I already have a bet down on Sandhagen at +120. I got in on it right away, but minus 110 now. It's like starting to get a little bit of, a little bit of a scary situation. So him by second round plus 700. I think that's looking like more like the value now. I mean, wowzers, like Corey absolutely has a chance of finishing him in this fight. If I had to choose, I'm going by decision by Sandhagen here, certainly, but there's a lot of value in terms of that round betting here. So to recap, obviously Sandhagen money line parlay. Well, actually, again, not much value there. So let's just throw that out of there. It's not even worth throwing in a parlay. Put 2 units on Sandhagen by decision. I'll be sprinkling a little bit on the second round here, though. It's a little hedgy, but you can do this because the odds are so greatly different. You're going to make money by placing both bets there. But what are you guys thinking?
Yeah, it's Sandhagen's time. Frankie's been through so many wars, and he still competes. He fought well against Munoz. Some say that Munoz won that fight, but so he has got a lick at.
He did win that fight. Munoz won that fight, or like the judges kind of fucked that. Yeah,
for sure. But Frankie got in on the action at 135, where he maybe should have been all along, but. Doesn't matter. I think Sandhagen.
No, sorry. I don't know if sorry, I don't interrupt you. I meant Pedro won that fight for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if Pedro won that fight for sure. I think
that's what I meant.
That's okay, yeah. Well, that's what I meant too. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No, it's all good. I love Sandhagen. Definitely not money line. Don't like the odds. But yeah, I'm feeling Sandhagen finishes him here. What's the line for a finish for Sandhagen?
200
plus 200.
Yeah.
Plus 200.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I feel like Frankie's tough, but I don't know, man. I really feel Sandhagen. It's his time. And with the finish here, he may fight Sterling or Jan, right? You don't know. So I know Dillashaw is going to get sprinkled in there too. Maybe he fights Dillashaw next for the number 1, but
exactly.
I really like him by finish, so that's what I'll be playing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you know what? I like that I understand, especially the value at plus 200. I think it was started at plus 170, and since money started to pile on that decision somehow, it obviously the finish went up. So I'm starting to lean a little bit more towards that in terms of value. But no, it's very interesting. And if you are liking the Frankie side, let's say somehow, Frankie by decision plus 450, he's going to go look for those takedowns versus second round and look to grind out that win. So if you're crazy enough to take Frankie Edgar in 2021, I could see that's the way that I see it happening if you want to do that. But again, obviously Sandhagen is the way to go. And looks like we're starting to lean more by the finish there. But
a month ago, you would have said crazy to buy GameStop as well. So look what happened, right?
No kidding. And especially after last weekend's card, all the crazy underdogs won.
Yeah. Wall Street bets are just inflating these lines right now. They're all getting short squeezed.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if they're shorting fucking Frankie or what's going on here, but we'll see what happens.
Already short enough, but
exactly what I was about to say, like 5'6" in bantamweight. So
before you get into that next one, I got to take off, boys.
Okay, peace out, Josh. Have a good
See
one,
you, bro.
But yeah, actually, you know what? I don't have too much more other than in terms of in-depth analysis. I do have a few more leans though. Certainly, Cody Stamann, I like to win. Again, I think he's like something. He's like a minus 325 or something like that. Silly
right now. Minus
what the shit? Okay, so never mind. He's there's no value there. But him by decision is a minus 163. And I think what was his finish by is plus 260. Oh, actually, no. Okay, him by decision is a minus 50 now. So some people have been putting money down on finish. Just while I was looking at it.
And his opponent got changed too.
Yeah,
right? So,
twice. I could honestly, I could see him finishing. Like he hasn't had a finish in the UFC. Like now he gets a guy on short notice that hasn't even fought in the UFC before.
Yeah.
I feel like he's got a lot to
ground and pound.
I really do.
Ground and pound second round.
Yeah, I think I like him by finish this weekend. I really do. He's got a lot to prove. He came off that disappointing fight against Jimmy Rivera, where he kind of got outclassed on the feet. And this guy hasn't got a finish in the UFC. We love the guy, but like it's time to get a finish. Today he said, "I don't want to fight Merab Dvalishvili anymore, because that was supposed to happen a couple times. Saying that like he's actually starting to be more outspoken, chirping him, saying maybe if he gets a win against somebody that matters, then I'll fight him next. So I think he's got this newfound confidence after that last loss. I think he's going to win by finish. I really do.
Yeah, and that's my bad. I totally missed calling him out because, again, our fans know this. He's a Hooks In alum, and that actually makes now 4 fighters Saturday night that are on the alum squad. So, yeah, definitely cheering, rooting him on, and I like him by finish too. Hell, let's throw a couple.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Yep.
Well, like I said, it seems like it's good value, and people have been putting some more money on it, even, like I said, last couple hours since I looked at this. So plus 260, that's a juicy bet right there.
It's very juicy.
The other one I wanted to talk about quickly, I don't have, again, too in-depth stuff, but Diego Ferreira, I think that's how you say it, and Beneil Dariush. This is a unreal fight. I don't know why it's opening up the main card. This should be it's just like a co-main event in itself of a fight night, in my opinion. And they're both minus 110s right now. Diego was a slight favorite day or two ago. Looks like people have been putting some money on Dariush. This is very tough. Ferreira has only lost to 2 people, Dariush and Dustin Poirier. If he ends up beating Dariush this weekend, then he can say he's only lost to Poirier, which is quite a thing to say, and he has a good argument in terms of facing people in the top 15, top 10, right?
Yeah, so that'll be 6 in a row for him, Z, and he's already said if he wins this, he wants RDA or Paul Felder, so that's telling you his confidence too.
Yeah. And Dariush, I mean, he's very slick on the ground. Ferreira's obviously a black belt though as well. This matchup is amazing. I don't know who has the advantage in terms of striking, really.
I think it's Dariush.
Yeah, true. So, but if you look at the odds here, it's Ferreira finish plus 275, decision plus 250. Dariush, it's plus 225 KO, decision plus 250 as well. So it's no one knows what's going to happen. It's all basically the same things, right? So it's hard to put money on anything on this. It's just going to be an exciting fight. I think if anything, maybe choose a second round finish by one of these guys, do a round betting thing just for fun. But I don't know. Well, I think you're leaning on Ferreira, right?
I like Ferreira to come back and beat Dariush after losing the first time. The first time it was a decision too. I think Ferreira gets the best of him and wins a decision in this as well, which is also good value, which you mentioned. If I can compare it to something, Emmanuel Sanchez fought Daniel Weichel, and we had both of those guys on the podcast just a few months ago. Bellator vets. Weichel beat him earlier on by decision. Emmanuel Sanchez came back and he had sharpened up his tools and beat him by decision. So, same weight class. The skill level's very high. They're both very good. I think they mitigate each other. I just think Ferreira, I think he's going to make it 6 in a row. Dariush even said in a couple interviews, he's been swinging wildly, which is never how he used to be. He has a spinning back fist win, crazy fight against what's his name? It's Drakkar Close. That was crazy. He almost got knocked out. I just think he might be throwing for the fences again to get in. He has 3 performance bonuses in his last either 3 fights or last 4 fights, something like that. So he might overextend. And I think Ferreira might be, I'm not saying he's going to hold him on the ground, but I think he might be able to take him down and control him. It was one of Dana White's, if you don't know now, you know, fights. And there's another one next we'll talk about. But this fight, I think they mitigate each other. I just think Ferreira ends up getting the best of him this time around. I think he learns from that first fight.
Nice. I like that analysis. Really good. But for me, that's it. That's all I could comment on right now. You got 1 or 2 more there, Zone?
Yeah, just so Manel Kape, flyweight, he's fighting Alexander Pantoja, Pantoja's a top, either a top 10 or a top 5 flyweight, and really good fighter, has a ton of power in the division. Cap, if you guys remember, when they had the Davison Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno title fight in December, he was actually the sit-in guy, like Michael Chandler was for the Khabib Gaethje fight. So they brought him over, has never fought in the promotion before, and in case someone didn't make weight or got COVID, he was the step-in fight. So I think the UFC has found guys in other promotions, Caps from Risen, found guys like Chandler from Bellator that are extremely good. They match up well against who they're going to fight, and there's no reason why they would have put Cap in to fight for the flyweight championship if he wasn't legit. He's got a ton of power. I would say not close to Davison, but he's right in behind him in that division for power. I really think he catches Pantoja in this fight because Pantoja overextends as well, and he's always looking for the finish. I think this is going to be fight of the night, and I think Cap's going to end up knocking him out. I seriously do. So that's my pick, a finish by Manel Cap.
Nice.
Which
Plus
we saw
187.
Chandler do a couple weeks ago with his debut.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think it could happen again.
I like it.
You get a bit of value because he's an unknown, right? So
and this
the bettors in Vegas, they don't really handicap for that because he doesn't have the recency bias or the track record. Yep. So hidden value. I like it.
That's going to be a really exciting fight, boys. So tune in for that one for sure.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly highlight Clay Guida. He's always been one of my favorite fighters, dating back to his beginning of his career. I did watch this week his best fights ever, and it was just highlight after highlight. And he's fought the who's who. Obviously, past his prime, could be retiring soon. Who knows? But I think Z, you were mentioning you think Michael Johnson gets it done there. Not crazy value if you're looking at the money line numbers, but if you do look at decision, which Clay Guida is as tough as they come, I think Johnson by decision at plus 140 is decent value for one of those prelims. So
I could definitely see that happen.
Value.
I like that. Just to throw it out, one last one, just as a value pick, the guy on the podcast this week, Danilo Marques. This guy's fucking tough as nails. It's going to be a good fight as well. I could see either got a guy getting put out, but just for money line purposes, I think he's plus 200. Again, not a lock by any means. It's a value bet. I think that line is actually a little bit skewed. He's tough as nails, and it could definitely happen. Not saying it's gonna, but it's possible. So that's all I have.
Maybe the over 1.5 at the very least, minus 125. That might be, if he's he's tough guy.
Yeah.
At the very least, right? So, and who knows, like you said, if him by finish plus 3 or 8, or him by decision plus 550 actually. Yeah.
Wow.
That looks lovely as well in terms of value. So,
and he gave us a ton of props for our podcast. He said every other podcast he talks to, they ask crazy questions, and he can't speak a lot of English, so he doesn't understand. We kept it nice and simple for him, and he loved that and gave us a ton of props. So props to him, and good luck this weekend.
Love to hear that. No, that's awesome.
Gotta love those type guests.
Great.
So yeah, hell of an episode, guys. Make sure to keep listening here to these interviews. Like I said, both fighting this Saturday night. So let's cheer them on, help them get the dub, and good luck in your own bets. We'll catch you next week for episode 30, big milestone episode. So can't wait for that.
Go Bucks, baby. Go Bucks.
Yeah, we're good.
Next up on the Hooks In MMA podcast, we're lucky to have 17-2 lightweight. Got a huge fight coming up soon against Beneil Dariush. He was born in Manaus, Amazonas, Brazil, and he's currently fighting out of McAllen, Texas. Carlos Diego Ferreira, how's it going today?
Doing great. About the Sunday, kind of a little chilled down here in the valley, but doing great.
Awesome. Yeah, we appreciate your time. So just what were some of your hobbies growing up in Brazil?
My hobbies growing up in Brazil was kind of rough. I was more helping my dad, getting situated a little bit. My dad used to have a boat, and we like to play soccer a little bit. Not really trying, he was forcing me to play soccer, but I used to like everything, play with my friends on a country part of the from Manaus. But I have a good growing up time with my friends, my family, and I enjoy pretty good. And from there, after my 10 years old, I was almost 10. I was 9 to 10. I found jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and that's when I started getting more into the mixed martial art a little bit and fall in love about boxing and everything else.
Yeah, and it's worked out really well for you. When did you make the move to America?
I made a move. Exactly, I made the move to America. Was getting ready. Like, I want to be a. My dream was be a world champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And that was my dream, and I was always looking for that. But I was 2008 when I came down to compete a worlds. Was my first time come to US, and was kind of rough in the beginning, but and then I kind of found some people help me out, and kind of got to put it good on few steps.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was interesting, 2009, begin 2008, sorry, 2008.
Yeah. So currently, like in Texas, what gym are you training out of, and who's your coaches in your corner for your upcoming fight?
Uh, exactly. Like, I have my own gym in South Texas. Team Ferreira Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I have my own gym, and my coach, my main coach, is Coach Rick. When I go train over there in hello, oh, can you hear me? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
When I go, yeah, I go to Dallas. The main coach over there to MMA too. Before, I used to train more jiu-jitsu to get ready for my first few fights. I was just doing myself, training by myself with a couple friends, couple students, you know. But my main coach, Coach Rick, and Coach Seyfeld and Abraham, they helped me a lot. And Arlen, it's one of my wrestling coach. He helped me a lot in my wrestling. He teaches in a high school, and he helped me a lot to get away for my fights, and it's always been like that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good. So you're 8-2 in the UFC, and you've won 6 in a row. You're fighting Beneil Dariush for the second time. You've had a lot of success, but this win here could propel you into like the top 5 and get those even bigger name fights, maybe title shot eventually, right? What's your mindset going into this fight against Dariush, even though you've already fought him? What can you take away from that first fight and use towards this one?
I take away was my preparation. On the first time, I think I was not prepared. I was more like taking the short notice fight. 2 weeks of short notice. But I took a lot. I took a lot of experience because I was more a jiu-jitsu fighter, and Benel beat me on jiu-jitsu. He put me down, and I was not having the right gas tank to trying to get up. And try strike with him, and I kind of learn a lot, especially like be a mixed martial art, not like just a jiu-jitsu fighter. To begin on with that, he win, by decision, and I think was more be prepared for everything on the fight. Like, you never try to win the fight just, I gotta take this guy down, and that's it. No, you have to be prepared to get up and strike and do everything you can. I think I learned a lot, and I think I have a more experience now than before, because I I have more strike wise. I think I feel much better, and I think I have more tools. This past 4 years, I think, what the last time I faced him, and I'm really excited now. It's something. It's gonna bring me back to for the first fight, but I'm really excited, you know, like I'm really pumped. Like it's get me more because it's my first loss. Was my first loss in my career for him, with him, you know, and I think I can have a payback. You know, I gotta say straight, I have the payback from that. Like it's and get me more excited to train and push myself. You know, be more a fighter for the next fight.
Yeah, I like the way you put that too, because the UFC obviously wanted to make that match, that rematch, so it gives you an opportunity to, showcase what you didn't get to in the first one, and I think you're gonna. So excited to see that. Um, so what do leading up to a fight, you got your training camp, you got your weight cut, you got the actual fight. What do you like to do when the fight's done? The next day, do you eat a certain way? Do you have a couple drinks? How do you like to celebrate after a
I
fight?
like to I like to celebrate with my team. You know, like we have a little come together on my at home. You know, I don't like to go to bars and things like that.
Yeah.
I like to really just be with the team, especially those be like be with the camp, sacrifice with me too. You know, don't go in and out, especially this time. You know, like we can't going around so many people's no more. And I like to get together, you know, drink, you know, have some beers, you know, and just focus on family time too.
Yep.
You know, I really like and ride my bikes. I like to ride bikes, you know. Yeah, go for. I've been planning to go for a long ride for a while. And after this, that's what my plan. I've been like, especially getting this to like a little cold weather to get a good ride. That's you know, that's my favorite part after my camp. You know, after a big fight like this.
Yeah, and you deserve that. And like I said before, if you want a really cold ride, you can come up to Canada here.
Yeah, that's the perfect. That's the perfect place to go for a good ride, especially
Yeah.
the mountains over there. I like the mountains over there. When I saw the first time, I said, "Wow, it'll be a big dream come through one day." You know,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
there.
Hopefully we can get you up here sometime. Um,
Thank you.
for family life, do you have a family? Do you have any kids?
I do. I have three kids. My old one Zach is gonna be 19 this in March, and I have another one 11 years old. You know, and I have my 3 years old, and I have three kids, and I'm really focused on that. You know, my free time is just try to get them in the right direction, and my wife is always there for me, and my mom. I bring my mom to live with me for been 2 years already. You know, my my mom-in-law. I like to I like to get together with them, a barbecue. You know, like a family time.
Yeah.
I like to spend the majority of my time, especially if I'm not in a gym. I like to spend time with them, you know, than anything else in in entire world because they just make me feel better every single time.
Yeah. There's nothing like family, right?
Exactly.
Just to finish up here, we do between rounds. I'm gonna ask you a question, and you can answer how you want. Okay.
Mhm.
Favorite kind of food to eat?
Sushi.
Favorite sport other than MMA?
Soccer.
What's your favorite spot in Brazil? If someone's never been to Brazil before, what's your favorite spot that you would tell them to go to?
The jungle.
Okay,
The jungle. Yeah.
I like that.
The jungle, yeah.
Other than Brazil or the United States, what's your favorite country to go to?
I my favorite country I never been. It's Japan. Is as what a dream too. I want to go by. You know, I wanna really one day want to have the experience to go. I
Yeah.
hope, especially for fight. You know.
Yeah, it's a historic place for fighting, right?
Yes.
Um, Favorite type of music? Favorite
Sorry,
type of
is it
music?
frozen? Okay. I like to everything, you know, but I like Christian rock. I like Christian rock the most.
Favorite movie of all time?
The Hulk.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And just wanted to get your 2 cents on a couple fights coming up. Who do you like between Poirier and McGregor? Who do you think wins that?
I go per year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Chandler and Hooker?
I want Tender to win because I want to fight him, but I know the Hooker's gonna get it, that one.
You think so?
You know, but yeah, I'm he's still debating now, but I want to fight this guy, you know, like it's something like it's confused, but
No,
uh,
I understand.
you know, yeah, it's kind of like I want to see him win, but because I want to fight him, but I know Hooker's real good. He's long guy, you know, he have a lot of strike on, and he's a good grappler, but you know, I go with Hooker.
Okay. And if this ends up getting announced, Oliveira and Gaethje, who do you like between them?
I go Oliveira for sure.
Yeah,
I like his style. I like what he's coming, where he's coming from too, and he been putting a lot of good shows, and it's just make me feel more excited than ever.
If GSP comes back and Khabib come back, who do you think wins that one?
That's all good. I gonna go with I go with Khabib. I'm a big fan of Khabib too, you know, but I like Khabib more than St. Pierre.
Okay. And the rematch between you and Dariush, what happens in that fight?
I want to throw down, you know. I want to be ready for everything. I know Dariush wanted to want to get to the clinch again. You know, he does his specialty, but I'll be waiting for everything. And I think we're gonna go the 3 rounds, put a good show for the crowd. You know, not the crowd. Sorry, we don't have a crowd no more. Yeah, you know, put a good show for the fans, and I wanna give my all, you know, this fight. I wanna be a war. I wanna go there. If I have to bleed out, if I have to get caught, I'm gonna go for everything.
Yeah, I think that's going to result in a good thing for you. Any sponsors, shout outs, or social media to finish up?
Just gonna shout out for the Shack, you know, always support me. My team Ferreira, Fortress MMA, has always been there for me, and my coach Safe, and Kyrie Sink always helping me out, and Hahit, guys always do my therapy, and thank you very much for all you guys that always been there for me.
That's awesome. Really looking forward to February 6th, the rematch against Beneil Dariush. Really happy to have you on and for you to give us your time today. Carlos Diego Ferreira, good luck. This is Hooks in MMA.
Thank you. Thank guys.
Thank you. Yeah. Next up on the Hooks in MMA podcast, we're lucky to have 10-2 light heavyweight. He's got a big fight on February 6th against Mike Rodriguez. Danilo Marques, how's it going today?
I'm okay, and you? Good, bro?
Yeah, good, thanks. Happy to have you on. So you were born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, correct?
Yes, I'm from there.
Yeah, and what was it like growing up there? What kind of hobbies did you have before you started MMA?
Man, I started in boxing when I was 12 years old, and I keep in box until 24 years old. But at the middle, I pressed jiu-jitsu with Eduardo Teles. He's a big guy from jiu-jitsu. And just because I had a lot of friends from jiu-jitsu, like André Galvão, MMA, and other guys, they come until Brazilian selection box or the gyms where we used to train there, to train box with us, because they are changed to MMA in that time. And now I'm here, you know, after many years, I'm here together with these guys and do MMA too.
Yeah, and you're doing well so far. Yeah, so you're on a 3-fight win streak. What gym are you currently at, and who are your coaches in your corner?
And this time it will be Eduardo Alonso, like he always is, my manager and my head coach, and Rafael Cordeiro, because I'm Kings MMA now. And one guy from Kings too, the Pets guys, his name is Osmar. He's a Brazilian guy, but he lives here too in the West Coast, California. And he's helping me a lot in this moment. So he go together with us, 3 guys.
Okay. And you're currently not living back in Brazil, are you?
Yeah, I'm always come back there, but now I have a house here and I have a house there. So I'm here now just to make my camp, and I brought my family. My family is together with me because it's 3 months and a half, and it's a long time, and I want to stay together with my family. And we come back together after my fight, like one week after my fight, we come back together, stay there like 2 months and a half, and come back here again because I'm going to start training here again.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You mentioned family there. You have wife, kids?
Yeah, I have my wife, of course, and
Yeah.
one kid. Yeah.
How many kids?
One boy, 12 years old. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, that's good that you can have them there to support you too, because that's important as well. So like I said before, you're on a 3-fight win streak and you won your first fight in the UFC, but you're fighting Mike Rodriguez on February 6th.
Yes.
What do you know about him, and how do you feel like you match up against him?
Well, Mick Mainardi, the matchmaker from FC, called for my manager in November, I think. Yes, in November. I was helping Maurício Shogun in Maringá, his city in Brazil, because he's my brother, like an old brother, always helping me. And I was there, and Eduardo said, "Hey, listen, Mick Mainardi called me and offered us Mike Rodriguez." And I started to see the movies, the match, the fights from him, and I saw everything, and I saw again, see again, like I'm studying, I think it's a good fight, so because that we accepted and said, yeah, it's okay, we ready. So I think it's a good for my game, and I go there and do my best,
Yeah, excited for that fight. Leading up to a fight, like you just said, you're training, and then you got your weight cut, and then you got the fight. What do you like to do after to celebrate?
I always came back to the training, I don't spend a lot of time in celebration. I just rest a couple of days and come back to the training, because I don't want to lose my condition. When I lose my condition, I'm not a young boy, so it's got to get back fast,
quicker.
So quickly. Yeah. So because that I prefer rest 4 and the maximum 5 days, but running, make lifts, and come back to the MMA trainings.
Yeah. Do you do anything special with the family though? Do you get like a special dinner or something after, or do you eat?
Yes. We have a special moment together, like some food or go for some place.
Yeah.
But nothing special, quickly, like 2 days, and I come back.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. So we talked about your family. What kind of other hobbies do you have besides MMA and fighting and training? Do you have any other hobbies?
I love watching movies with my wife in seasons, and we do that a lot at the middle of my camp, after my fight, before. It doesn't matter. We do that a lot. We love to do that. Barbecue with the friends in my home, I love to do that. I don't have I live at the beach here, and Brazil beach is close too, but I don't go to the beach a lot and stay there, just a couple times. So my favorite thing to do is stay with my wife and watch movies. I love that.
Yeah. So our last section here, I'm going to ask you a couple questions about movies and seasons there, but it's called Between Rounds. So I'm going to ask you a question and give your best answer. Okay.
Okay.
What's your favorite kind of food?
Is rice and beans from Brazil. We call arroz feijão,
Favorite sport other than MMA?
Soccer.
Are you a Brazilian soccer fan?
Yeah, I used to be more before everything. I used to be more, but I'm Brazilian, I'm Brazilian. Brazilians love soccer.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're a powerhouse. If someone's never been to Brazil before, where would you tell them to go as like a cool spot to see?
Good question, bro. I think it's the best place to go if you are out from Brazil. The first time, the best place is Rio de Janeiro, because you're gonna see, oh my God, that's amazing. But you have a lot of places to see there. North Brazil is so beautiful too. But when you come from Europe, for example, or America, it's best you go to the Rio de Janeiro first.
Yeah, that's what I would have guessed maybe. What's your favorite country other than Brazil?
Good question too. I think Switzerland is a really nice place, and that's because I have some friends there, and they always there training and make seminars, and it's a really good life there, bro. Really good
Yeah,
life.
I've heard that actually. What's your favorite kind of music?
Uh, Hip hop from Brazil,
Yeah.
But I like samba too. I like rock too. But in this time, this moment, I may listen more hip hop from Brazil.
What's your favorite movie?
How I'm gonna say that? I don't remember the name in English. In Portuguese is Coração Valente. I think it's Braveheart too, from
Braveheart?
William Wallace.
Yeah.
Braveheart.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
So that's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's a good one. What about favorite seasons to watch with your wife? What's your favorite show?
Let me think. My favorite show is Vikings, but my wife doesn't like a lot this one. So we watch it together. This Is Us. We love This Is Us, for
It's a good
example.
show.
We have others, but This Is Us the best.
Who do you like in a fight between Adesanya and Blachowicz?
It's a hard to opinion that. I think Adesanya always have a chance, but he's not his weight, So it's other division. And Blachowicz knows how to walk in for the opponent. So my opinion is Blachowicz gonna win. So Adesanya has a chance for sure because he's really good,
Yeah. Good. And on February 6th, Rodriguez or Marquez, and how is that fight going to finish?
I hope I'm gonna win, Man, it doesn't matter how I'm gonna finish. What matters for me is win. So I want to win. I'm looking for that. And always think about that. No, win. And of course, training and find a way to do.
Yeah, I like that answer. Sponsors, shout outs, or social media to finish up.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Do you have any sponsors you wanted to give a shout out to, or?
No, I have a big sponsor in Brazil, but in America, the guys don't know. Is Inov is a big brand from supplements, and they help me a lot. So Inov is my big partner. I have others, but Inov is the most important for sure. Inov is the name.
Okay. Thank you for that. And I really appreciate your time today, February 6th against Mike Rodriguez. Mike Rodriguez against yourself, Danilo Marques.
Yes.
We're pulling for you and hoping you get that W. This is Hooks in MMA. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thank you, and I would like to say congratulations for your questions. It's not so like the other guys question the same things always, So your question is really good, and thank you. I hope see you again, man.
Yeah, us too. Thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you. See you.
Falling in and out of love, in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love, in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love, in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love, yeah.